Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel. I am Ananda Rose. And for those of you watching on Light Language Messenger, you're very welcome here too. Wow, it's been a long time since I came on and I just spoke on my own or brought in a light language message. And I'm sorry, friends, it's just been, the energy has been like that. And, since the solar eclipse of April, I just felt like I needed to be in hermit mode, and any work I was doing would be with other people, but not necessarily come out and constantly speak like I was doing for most of the latter part of last year. So I just wanted to come on and say, firstly, I've missed doing this. And really looking forward to what is to come. And I cannot say it's going to be another that we take up again and do this every day or every week. There's a lot of work coming up in terms of what we're doing on Ananda Rose. And of course, I post a lot of it onto Light Language Messenger too. For those of you on Light Language Messenger, you will be aware of that. But, thank you so much for all the subscriptions, and thank you so much for all the support and the comments, because it's good to know that people are watching and that what we're doing or what we're putting out there on channels, anyone who's a YouTuber, and if it's for higher purpose and high vibrational stuff, that, hey, people are gravitating to it for anything, whatever it is that you believe is your purpose in this life. And if you're fulfilling that, then I guess it's very encouraging when people are watching or they comment or they subscribe to it, right? Now, really, this message is not about increasing subscriptions because, friends, I forget all about that quite often. If you watch the channel regularly, I don't often talk about that. But today, my feeling was that I needed to come on and say something. In fact, I was going to do this earlier in the week, and things have just, it feels like some energy is just, what has it done? It's plummeted us into another space. Okay, plummeted, and it feels like it's gone down. All right, but yeah, plummeting down, right, is what they say. But actually, it's not. It's just an illusion if that's how it's feeling, right? And that's what I thought I'd come on and say, because, say what I needed to share with all of you and tell you about a few things that are happening here on the channel. Thank you, everyone that attended our live events. Firstly, I need to say that our live events, the one that Kirsty and I are doing for anyone who identifies with being neurodivergent, right? Who is neurodivergent. I felt guided to do that months and months ago, and I'm just glad that we did it this way, because it reached more people than we could have reached if we were in a local venue, right here close by. And there's so many other things that have come out from that, so many other connections that are formulated from that, that I'm really pleased that I went with my gut on that. And then, and that Kirsty went with her gut on it as well, because if she didn't do it, I wouldn't have been able to do it, right? So we're really pleased that we were able to do that and support the collective in that way. Now, we've got the last one coming up, what we think is the last one, the last free live event. We've got that coming up on Sunday this week, which is Sunday, the 4th of August at 7 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time. Okay. And I will put a little voice clip, and I will attach the time and date tool so that you can figure out what time it is for you in the place where you live. Okay. That's what I needed to say. I'm going to come back to talking about the current energies, but I just wanted to say thank you for that. The other thing is thank you to everybody who supported the Africa activation. And the Africa activation was, it kind of took me by, it took me by surprise, and a stormy surprise, because I didn't think about the energy of Shaka turning up on it. And it just seems that Shaka turned up in the morning and it just kind of processed through the day like that. And that was just like, wow, okay. I thought there was a specific dragon coming through, but actually it was Shaka, the energy of Shaka, the spirit of Shaka. So that was really good. I was flying from the morning. The day that we did it was the 20th of July, right? And from that morning, when I did, we met with the person who was on the ground for us in Africa. and in particular in South Africa, and we just kind of felt guided to do a clearing with her. And so we did a clearing with her, and did all the alignments and things like that with her that needed to be done. And then from then, I just was on another wavelength. I just felt like I was flying the whole time. I had to do all this grounding. And then I was like that for the days following. I was like that for 4 days following. So it was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And so finally, I feel like I've come down to the ground. And when I came back down to the ground last week, I was fine. And suddenly on Sunday, something shifted again. And I was like, oh my gosh, within 24 hours, I was feeling like, oh, what, am I doing the right thing? What's happening? Just second guessing myself and all of that. Now, the thing about it is that we are in the Lion's Gate. We have got that Jupiter square to Saturn that the astrologers are talking about. And that in particular, I think the way they're talking about is going to, one of the parts of it is that you almost feel like things have not changed, or you might have made changes, but maybe you're going back to the way things were in the old way, or what you were doing last year. Maybe it looks like, oh, that's coming up again or whatever. But it's an illusion, and it's important to realize it's an illusion and that it will pass. And let's not forget, we are now in the shadow period for the Mercury retrograde that happens, I think, in the northern hemisphere, the 4th of August, and in New Zealand will be probably the 5th of August. I haven't checked the actual dates. I just know that it's happening. Mercury retrograde starts on the 4th of August, and I think it concludes on the 24th of August. Okay. So most of August this year and most of the Lion's Gate is going to be, or the last, the high points of the Lion's Gate is going to be in a Mercury retrograde. And I don't know what that means because I don't really know much about the astrology and things like that. But what I do know is that when all of these things are happening, I need to realize that I've got to be easy on myself. Any of the vibrations and things that I'm feeling, I need to make sure that I don't take it too seriously, because I'm just going through the motions and all that transformation process is taking place, right? So I want to encourage you to put yourself in that space where you understanding that sometimes a lot of the things you're thinking and feeling now might go away in 2 weeks. I mean, like things you were thinking and feeling last week is very different from how you're feeling today, right? Because for me, I find that changes like on a daily basis. This morning, I did an energy healing session with someone in terms of their light language. And I just found that I was suddenly now floating all day. I walked the dog, but I wasn't quite, grounded. And as much as I did my grounding afterwards and all of that, I still had to take the extra bit to do that. And so this is my experience. This is what I'm feeling. And I feel like we need to be mindful of that. All of us need to be mindful of that. The other thing is, a couple of weeks ago, I had all these amazing plans in my journal. Like I was like, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do here. This is what I'm supposed to do there, and so on and so on. And suddenly, since Sunday, since that big shift of something happening, I feel like, oh my gosh, do you really think you can do that? I mean, really? Do you really think you can do that? What makes you think you can do that? That kind of thing. Please, if you're going through that, then just remember that this is going to pass. It's going to pass quicker than you realize. It's part of the remnants of the old trying to reaffirm itself, and almost think like, oh, we just have to do this one more time to see if we can gather some more some more ignorant people. But we are no longer ignorant. We are no longer in a position where we are going to be fooled for a long period of time, right? You notice this. Most people you speak to these days, they are so quiet, they're so far ahead than even they realize in terms of how they're awakening. So that's something that I just wanted to mention. Now, yes, we did the Africa activation on the 20th of July. We will be doing the other activations coming up. They will be coming up since I had all my dates planned. And since Sunday, I've had to say, okay, I need to pause with it. I need to just pause and wait and see what more guidance I get on it, because suddenly it felt like, oh my gosh, Rose, do you really think you can do that? What is wrong with you? You know? So it's almost like we are second guessing our abilities, because 2 weeks ago, I realized how empowered I am. I realized how I've come into my space, how I've come onto the platform of flying and being where I need to be in this new phase of my life, because I'm no longer doing what I used to do 5 years ago. And that's what I think one of my last videos, when I was speaking to everybody, I said, it's like something changed, and the memo did not arrive on my desk to tell me, hey, your career is over the way it used to be. And so I got all the downloads for what I am supposed to be doing 2 weeks ago. I was feeling on top of the world, and suddenly I'm not. So it's about the energies. And so I come to this part here where firstly, I'm going to have a sip of water. We have got a few things scheduled for the weeks ahead. I am going to be having another interview with somebody I really love interviewing. I've only had one interview with this person, but I was just mesmerized the whole time and fascinated, because it's a soul brother. And so that's coming up. I feel like I just need to leave it at that and not tell you more, because it's not long to wait before you get to watch that. So yes, this weekend, as I mentioned, we've got the third new live event for anyone who is neurodivergent. What we're thinking, what might happen is we might take it away from being a free live event to then work with people in a small group or individually to see if they want to be activated for anything. Okay, that's in discussion at the moment, and we will come back to you about that. Kirsty and I will be confirming that if not on Sunday, but in a week late, maybe a week later, as to what we're going to do. Right now, friends, I need to look at my writing. Yeah, I feel like my eyesight has changed a little bit recently, and who knows why? Who knows if I've got that right until I get to the optometrist or optician, whichever one is applicable. Now, Emma from Being Magic, Sarah Ariana, and I did the Dragon Initiation event on what was the 17th of July in the Northern Hemisphere and the 18th of July in New Zealand time. Now, a lot of people did not attend, obviously, but they did ask if there was a recording available. And yes, there is a recording available. Sarah has got it on her website. Emma has got it on her website. I will be having it soon. I don't have a website, but I will be finding a way to make it available to anybody who wants to get it through me. Okay. So that recording it's been available already. So, sarahariana.com or being-magic.com. So you can get it there on those two websites in the meantime, if you wanted the recording. I will put the links in the description box. Anyway, so I've told you about the Dragon Initiation. So Lionsgate next week, right? And the Lionsgate has been happening since like what, the 26th of July, or for 26th of July. Some people are saying 25th of July because it's from Leo season, which would have been like a few days around there. Anyway, and then it's at its highest point on the 8th of August. This year it's 3/8 because it's the 8th of the 8th month in the year 2024, and the 2024 numerology comes down to the single digit 8. So that means we have 3 8s. And if you take the 3 8s and you add them up, you get 24, which then gives you a single digit of 6. For me, that's important because 6 is my life path number. And so I feel like this Lionsgate is important for me. I'm supposed to do something really interesting, for this Lionsgate. That will be coming up. And news of that will be coming up in this next couple of days. So And for me, it's about activations. Now, people are asking me, why are you doing the activations? I'm doing the activations because I felt guided to. What are we activating for? We're activating the collective in that zone to wake up to the energy of the dragon that works with them. We're activating people because it's a matter of saying, well, okay, this is what I feel is part of my soul contract in terms of my work for now in this time and space on the planet, and so that's what I'm doing. And so that's what's going to happen in these various places, because the dragons too are like the archangels and the unicorns and the angels, and like you can call upon them for help. The thing about the dragons is that they've been vilified over history, right? Historically, they've been vilified. Archangels, you know, guardian angels, unicorns are not. There's nothing vilified about these elementals, okay? The thing with the dragons is that quite often, oh, somebody needs to slay the dragon, or somebody needs, oh, the dragon has now taken all the gold captive, or taken all the maidens captive, or something like that, some story or the other. But what we have to start coming into is the awareness that they too are here to help us. It's really interesting because I wonder sometimes, are the transformers the people that are here to, the transformers I've been referring to are people who are neurodivergent. Are they the ones that are here to awaken us to our dragon self? That kind of thing. So there's all of that happening. And so that is what we're doing with these activations. Now, I need to say the activations are really purposed from a higher perspective. Anybody who's doing the activation must, in my opinion, and I guess maybe now I'm getting a little bit, I'm going to take my opinion out of it. So my feeling about it is that anybody who's going to be part of the activations, what is the intention with your activation? For me, I imagine that if you are in a place and we're doing an activation there, that you might be outside in your garden whilst we're doing it, or after we've done it. You might light your candles. Obviously, be mindful not to cause a fire. Light your incense, do your meditation, sit on your yoga mat. Even if you sit within a crystal grid on the yoga mat, and just be breathing and being mindful at that time, and just bringing in the light and energy for that space you're in. Because our energetic selves, for want of a different word, covers a wide radius, wider than we can even imagine, right? Now, when we do this and when we bring in this energy, we are bringing in more of the light codes of that in there, into that space. We are bringing in more of the visibility of it, more of the consciousness of it, rather we just bring it to the forefront. Okay, so this is why we're doing these activations. Now, it will be interesting how they go. All right. If the Africa activation is anything to go by, I just felt that it was intensely energetic. Okay. Now, going on about that, I need to say it's wonderful. It would be wonderful for us to be able to work with the native peoples or the First Nations peoples of the lands that we are going to. But sometimes, which I think is coming up now, the next activations we're going to do, I cannot find anyone who is from the First Nations people that wants to be involved. And I know lots of people who are part of the First Nations people, but for whatever reason, they are reluctant to stand out there and do this, or they are reluctant to stand on their ground privately and do anything. And so for me, I respect that they are respecting the elders, but I am feeling that if we are feeling prompted to do this, is it possible that we carry that in our genealogy too? Because I know I do. I have had other lives with the First Nations peoples of this land that I live on in Aotearoa or Aotearoa, New Zealand. Okay, I have had connections to the Waitaha. And so is it possible that it's not about what culture we've come into this time only? It's not about how I look like I do now, but it's about what my body, the DNA, what the cells in my body remember. that's sparking of the thought patterns, the memories, or that I'm here to do this, right? So I'm hoping to work with the First Nations peoples of all these various continents that we may go to, or or countries that we may go to, and to do an activation. We will probably end up going to these places physically, but at the moment we're doing them in a virtual way because that's what I've felt guided to do. So that's what we're doing. That's the start of it all. Okay, so I was talking about Lionsgate and I moved on to activations again. But yeah, Lionsgate, there will be an activation for Lionsgate. Now, I'm trying to think, friends, if I've told you everything. Yes, there's a lot more I can tell you, but I just want to hold on. I want to hold on because this is a time where energy is high, because we've had intense solar flares. People seem to be in the mind space of like you're feeling grounded and balanced and in sync, and suddenly no longer. So it's all over the place. We seem to be having another shift of that. One more visit of this thing of life's, what's up with life, all of that, or am I doing the right thing? Am I really on the trajectory of my purpose? The questions are really coming through. We're really looking at our lives at the moment. And so, let's go through that phase. Let's do that. Let's do that one more time because we've been here so many times, right? We've done it so many times. Let's just do it one more time and see what happens. So now I've had some sage burning. And I do have a couple of cards that I want to bring through with the message. This is coming from Unveiling the Golden Age, a visionary tarot experience by Izzy Ivy, that oracle card deck. Really love that. The beautiful Izzy. I do. She's a special, special person, is our Izzy. I say our Izzy because I feel very close to her because of her oracle card decks, and of course this one experience. This is the visionary tarot card deck. So the first card that I got, and I'm now thinking, which one do we do first? This card came through and I thought it was for somebody else, but it's actually, I think this is for us. I think we'll do this card first. This is the card. It is the number 59 card. I will put it on the thumbnail so you can maybe pause the thumbnail to really look at the card itself, but that's what it looks like. It's infinite self-realization. Right. And it's like, how you get 10 of Pentacles. In this one, it's from the suite, the activation. So this is the 10 of activations. And I don't think it's Pentacles. I think it's just I use Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles as an example, but I don't think it matches the Pentacles in the original tarot. I don't know what it matches. Let's just say that. So I use it my point is I use it as an example. Please don't think I'm aligning it with that. All right, infinite self-realization. The title is Anchoring Light. Embracing whatever is approaching brings limitless possibilities. Holding on to the past will create circumstances requiring you to find your heart. So, I'm just inviting us to breathe now. Some of us have gone through a very intense dark night of the soul recently. Some of us are still going through it. And I think the last 5 years brought on the intensity of dark nights of the soul in a really, really big way. And so therefore, some of us felt like we almost died a couple of deaths or something like that. Or you might be feeling like that now, or you can't seem to hack what is going on with your health, or you can't seem to get on top of what is going on with your health, or what is going on with your family situation, or your relationship, or your job, or there's one aspect that you're struggling with. Maybe it's emotional trauma, maybe it's childhood trauma, right? And it feels like you're sinking into this abyss, right? And so you think, how do I get through this? Would it be better to just cop out and leave the planet? Will it be better? What is the next thing? Or some of us just couldn't get more work, or still are not able to find work, and you're thinking, but it's not logical. The mind block is there. It's not logical to keep trying and not getting what I know I should get, but then trying something else. I don't know what that something else is. How do I go and find that something else? Right. So there are various things that we've been going through in this transformation process. And I know that if anybody told me it was going to be like that, I probably would have said, no, not going to do it. So this card is telling us this is an inevitable ending. While it may not be the easiest process, it is time to let go and come to a place of acceptance of how it is. It will be more painful to resist the natural process of returning things to equilibrium. This card implies that whatever you are going through right now is the darkest hour before the dawn. And from here, things will start to look up. We are transitioning from the old vibratory frequency on Earth into the new one. At this time, shadows are being released and collective traumas resurface. Those who have benefited from these old structures will try to maintain the old ways. However, we can dance and flex, moving with the changes, even as they appear unknown and uncharted. Holding on to rigid thoughts and expectations will only exacerbate the pain. The image of this card depicts an all-knowing presence. The image of the card depicts an all-knowing presence. It reminds us of that place within ourselves we touch when we are awed by the finiteness and also eternal nature of human life and the interconnectivity of all that is. Divinity looking out through our eyes, our physical incarnation may not have wings, but our infinite nature across all dimensions does. Nature across all, sorry, I'm reading incorrectly now again. In moments beyond despair, the whole universe bows to us and winks back to us, the rapture of this vastness, way beyond what we can imagine. For a caterpillar to try to understand what it is like to be a butterfly is more than its capabilities can fathom. But in moments that push you to the edge of yourself, you may witness something far greater and ineffable. It is time for the metamorphosis. You got this. Right. That's that card. I'm going to try and put it closer. Friends, I apologize that I will put it on the thumbnail. That's a promise. Okay. That's the one. The other card is to say this is a message of rebirth, of hope. So here we are. It is the phoenix. There they are. Oh, there is one image of the phoenix. I'm very close to the phoenix, of course, because I work with the phoenix, right? They are my collective. That's who they are. But this is what this card says. Phoenix of the white fire. Phoenix of the white fire. This is a mythical guardian. Something important in your life is naturally coming to an end. It is time now to allow it to be reborn. You are at the end of a significant phase of your life and the beginning of a far more valuable, essential chapter. Aspects that no longer serve you are falling away, allowing for something much more in alignment. This surprisingly optimistic card speaks of closing one door to allow the next one to open. It signifies the embrace of renewal and transformation. The presence of this card also suggests a positive cleansing and a release of outdated patterns, relationships, or even physical items. It is time to bring in the new. Right? The next title is Healthy Awareness. Although it might be hard to let go, resisting necessary endings will only make things more difficult. It is time to put the past behind you and dream the future that you want to create in this new space. You may wish to draw a follow-up card to gain further insight into what you might be ready to let go of. I'm encouraging you to draw a follow-up card of your cards at home. just be mindful of what follows. If you're listening to a tarot reading, what is the card that follows? Okay. I'm just going to put it down for a second. Right. Now, Izzy is going to tell us in this book the story behind the image of this card. This was the first of a series of paintings of guardians, which over time evolved into this deck. She says she had the idea for it the day she was in a car crash. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. However, there was a strong sense of transformation that paralleled the experience. After a rather life-changing year, she was preparing to immigrate to Bali. She felt she needed to let go of and give away any belongings that no longer were in alignment with where she currently was at. However, there was one object that she didn't know what to do with, and the truth be told, it had a lot of energy and memories attached to it and no longer resonated. So she said, well, let's just say that the universe decided for her. She said she had been feeling some kind of death on the horizon in the lead up to this experience. So she was grateful the vehicle she released was her car and not her physical vehicle. This image is about rebirth, but with a positive cleansing. It is a tool her guides have gifted her in her healing work. Phoenix of the White Fire is a powerful energy clearing ally, cutting through anything which no longer serves, releasing density and allowing it to find wholeness. The white fire is silky, iridescent, and cool, similar to the violet flame. You can imagine it all around you, permeating every cell, atom, or energy field. This elemental guardian is great to call on when you feel you are seeking protection. However, if the need to protect oneself comes from a fear paradigm, it creates an unhelpful barrier, especially when you are holding space for others. When you emanate this powerful, semi-permeable, high-frequency field, anything that does not resonate with it will be repelled or brought back into the light when it comes into contact. Rebirth, friends, rebirth. It is a challenging time because it would seem that the experiences have arrived before the memos that were meant to arrive before the experience arrived. You know what I'm saying? We started having the experience before we got the memo. So I'm just going to encourage you to hold on to everything. Hold on. It's shaky. It's shaky. All right. It's shaky for various reasons, but it's something that has to happen so that we can progress to the next stage, to that next step, that next level. We're not necessarily saying, of course, it's higher level, but we're not measuring it in terms of high and low. We're just saying to the next level because all of us are transforming. If you've watched this so far, you are transforming. You are interested in this kind of topic. So you have a belief in this, okay? So I'm going to put the card down and I'm going to have a drink and I'm going to encourage you to do the same. And I'm going to just bring in some healing for us. Just going to go and do some clearing. Kalamakoto. Okay. And we will come out on this side, on the other side of the Lion's Gate. Very different. It is just for now. Yeah, konake. Maharanako tama anzeleta hortakata turultakata. Okay, maha. So friends, feet firmly planted on the ground. I'm just going to move a little bit away from the screen. Let's take a moment to breathe. We'll take 3 deep breaths and then we're going to get ready for a clearing. I'm not going to count you in. You take your deep breaths and I'll take mine. Okay, friends. Him. If you have a crystal, this is my grounding smoky quartz crystal. Just going to hold on to it. Also going to keep my green calcite on my desk. Come on, get it. So just toning in, because we're about to do some clearing with the light language. We are clearing, and then we are going to bring in some light codes. Light codes for us to withstand what is going on right now, for us to balance and synchronize and understand and go through the process. Okay. Okay, I'm holding on to my crystal. I hope you're holding on to yours. Let's start clearing now. Now feel your vessel shaking away. O kana make tamuho samahana setslema tete na setslema ya na setslemo akatavato akhanatso him وخدمت خطوط بتخلص مصمم خدمة من جديد زمزم وخنقت فتك نمتكو تعطيت سنما كنت تمخاتيت سنما خو لا 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 نم نوتي سمخان خدمت دن مخي وما خلما خنو تخرمت وخدم زام هي كلمة ترى صنعت منورت تماكي دو ماسكو دو ماتي انت لما خدو ما هنا ما تدو ما خاين ما تدو ما هنا ما تدو ما خاين 모아얀도로리로리로 마하이 오앙그라나 기하라나 가다도마 도도도도도로 마하이나 도도로 가이두두도도로 마이 하라카네 마도도마 이양관제마하나 제대하나마 한츠르마 한츠르만데요 네마카토마 한마토토파나 카타타마 스투토타마 카이나 제토파나 카이 خلما خدما خانما خدما خدما إذا بعد تطبخت مخات ما سمت كنت مخاينا كنت تفرنا خاي يرخت مخاينا خدما تطكي ما كنت مخاي تتمر خاي. So the cleansing right now and the clearing is just going through the chakra column, but in this horizontal way. Kana maki to makhana mu Garant to garnet to mata current to masa masonic limited die. Gorma Khaitan to do a Hanakayo, Kadakayo, Karakayu, my Halo Dizamato Karama Cinema. Kiba. He's gonna hold on for a second. Bainsa, look at Ba. Bainsa Kataba to the Bahina. How are you feeling, friends? Kiba. Feel like I need to tap the back of my heels on the floor. So keep your feet firmly planted on the ground first, and then you're just going to tap. You're going to lift up. You raise your foot, your heel off the ground, and you go tap, 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 tap. Just hit the heel on the ground. Right, so shake it out. Take the feet. Right. Let's have a sip of water together, everybody. Okay, now we're just going to bring some light codes in. Right now. What are the light codes doing? They're coming in. They're going through the physical vessel, but they are aligning and they're balancing and sinking right now. Geana guru la la guru la 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 kichile make it on marabatu time. Kurumakato to marhatano no rahatana mahaina to farana haida. Geana gena 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 gena. Krafano tefrana tefrana tefrolo kamaya no teatro. Here, Corona Maketa Matamata Morakata Pararena Rila Lady Gigi Majont. Ari Makato the Market Samatican Unsalakan no. Ingera na dina na jumara na la cruane la cruna gena gona la crena gona hai yina tututuma tena makai ai tala ketara mahai na tarara na te ai na ukrana. So friends, as you come back, I feel like something's moving in my solar plexus. It's almost like it aided my throat, whatever's gone down my esophagus, and it's here in the solar plexus. It's like I'm almost feeling like I had a breath move, a shift of something in my body that I had to, you might feel like you're needing to burp. I know that sounds disgusting. I'm sorry, but that's the only way I can feel it. It's karamatu. It's going from there down there. For me, anyway. You might feel something different. Okay. So thank you, friends. I'm just going to end this with this Tibetan singing bowl. We're just going to do marakitodo and then go. Not sure that I can hear it. Can you tell? Maybe I'm holding it the wrong way. Let's see. No, maybe that's it. Okay. Thank you, friends. I'll get better at the Tibetan singing bowl. I feel like I've just not used the singing bowl enough because it it needs to be used, right? It too has a life and it is serving its purpose, and we need to fulfill it. We need to help it fulfill its purpose. Just a thought about things. So I'll be catching you next time here on the channel on Ananda Rose, and of course Light Language Messenger. All of you, thank you so much. New subscribers there too, and visitors, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time. It'll be soon, obviously, because we have got a few things coming up in the next few days. Stay grounded, friends. Connect with Amma Gaia, and we will get there. You have got this. And at this point in time, I am encouraging you, be fearless. Be fearless in who you are, in a positive, high vibrational way, right? Remember that everything can work out for the highest good of all concerned. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Next time, we'll have something fun on, I think, if you can call what we do fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up with all of you. Namaste, everyone. Namahi, koromachai, tatatafaranakai tututo, skat kita tama. Namaste.